All right, guys, here we go with topic number 4, and it's another Two Noobs tournament, the best Philadelphia athlete tournament. We've hit 4, and now we go on to the other 4. We're going to be filling out the rest of the Elite 8 in the next few weeks, and then all of a sudden we've got, I think our goal is episode 100. We're doing the Elite 8 Final Four Championship. It's right around the corner, guys. This is crazy. But it's been so much fun doing it with both of you, going through the first and second rounds and then voting, of course, and see who makes it into the Elite Eight. But this will be the upper half of the Eagles bracket. I've deemed this the Linc bracket of the best Eagle tournament. This person, whoever will come out of these 8 players, will face Brian Dawkins in the Elite Eight, and we're going to throw up the brackets on screen. Of course, we've got Dawkins, we've got Mike Schmidt, we've got Eric Lindros, and the good Dr. Julius Irving at the bottom there, filling out the 4. So, again, just to recap, the big tournament, what we ended up doing, we took the entire list from ranker.com, and from that list, for each individual team in the city, so we had the Flyers, Sixers, Phillies, and Eagles, so top 16, and then we filtered out based on a couple of criteria. One, how long they played, so it was minimum 3 years in the city from 1983 onwards. 2, their overall production in the field, so it could have been like if they had multiple All-Star appearances, if they won any championships, MVPs, if they're a Hall of Famer, things along those lines. And then, of course, popularity. Popularity within the city, popularity with, of course, with the host, things along those lines. I think I checked off all the boxes there, guys. I don't think I missed anything.
Yeah, and just so everybody knows, we threw Ben Simmons out pretty early.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God, yeah. Yeah. The original, list when we did the Sixers had Ben, I think, at, 12, and we were like, no.
Thrown out immediately. He was beaten.
No. How is that, how is he 12th? That doesn't make any sense. So, guys, here we go. We're going to start off with the first round, and we're going to go with the illustrious Steve Murray with his first choice here. Steve?
I wore my Coy Detmer jersey. For
there you go. I have the Dawkins jersey, the guy who's going to be facing Brian, so we'll see how this goes. But you have
Coy Detmer versus Brian Dawkins.
I'll give the honorable mention award to Coy Detmer really for playing with coming out of there with a dislocated elbow in that 49ers game on Monday Night Football. That was crazy. He was a tough guy. Tough guy.
I want to give props to the entire Detmer family. There's not a better football family ever. Going from their dad to Ty to
Coy. Yeah.
They know football in a way that I would love to just have them all in a room.
Hell yeah. The stories they would tell. My God, it'd be crazy. So, Steve, the 8-9 matchup here, we have the 8 seed is Jason Kelce, and the 9 seed is Mike Quick.
Oh.
So you have Jason Kelce, the center, the illustrious center of the, with the greatest speech ever at a parade, versus Mike Quick, the current, the guy who's alongside Merrill. And also a great player in his own right as well. So what do you think?
Mike Quick, definitely a great player in his own, but Jason Kelce is the greatest center I think we've ever had.
Yeah.
And not just because he dressed up as a mummer for the Super Bowl parade and gave that illustrious speech that you alluded to.
Yeah.
But he every time you watch an Eagles game, the color analyst is always saying what Kelce is doing in a play that no other center in the league can do.
Yeah.
He's just a remarkable athlete for his position.
Yeah.
And so I have to advance Jason Kelce.
That's awesome.
I don't think
Love
there's any other way.
Yeah. Yeah, I couldn't disagree with you at all. I think just the fact that, and we've kind of poked fun at David Alexander for okay, where'd he go? We didn't have that with Jason Kelce for, my God, it's got to be over 10 years, if not more, in his career. He's going to go down. He'll be in the Eagles Hall of Fame for sure. Canton bound?
I think he's got the resume.
He sure does, yeah. Super Bowl champion.
Yeah, Super Bowl. I think he got his All-Pro last year.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's been multiple Pro Bowls. I think he absolutely qualifies.
No doubt about that. All right, John. Well, we go up to the middle part of the bracket here for you. We got the 5 seed is Jason Peters, And the 12 seed is Clyde the Glide Simmons.
Oh my God, that's tough.
Yeah.
The left tackle.
The left tackle versus one of the all-time great, like, rush ends. And you want to talk about Clyde Simmons with his career. He played forever. My God.
But some would say that Reggie helped.
Oh, yeah.
Some would say that Reggie helped. He had a very good line.
Yeah.
Man, the left tackle.
Yeah.
That's tough, man.
Yeah.
Do you know that Jason Peters was a tight end in college?
That's scary.
I like to say that every time I hear a story about Jason Peters. Like, wow,
I can't imagine him catching a ball.
You're really a tight end? That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was drafted with the Bills as a tight end, turned to a left tackle, and then Andy Reid.
The rest is history. Yeah.
Yeah, and Andy Reid robbed him, and he did that.
Yeah. So what are you thinking? I mean, this is a tough matchup. It's 5-12.
It's the same thing as we talked about with what's his name? Last Eagles one. The defensive tackle.
Oh, Fletcher Cox.
Yeah, Fletch. When you talk about like Andy Reid taking over, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Corey Simon turns into Fletcher Cox. It turns into the next one. Look at Jordan Mailata.
Yeah.
They like mauling left tackles, and how did they figure that out? Trey Thomas to
Mhm.
Jason Peters to
Malata. Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
I gotta give it to the left tackle. 'Cause
Okay.
he is the left tackle.
Okay, cool. Yeah, good
Love
pick.
Clyde, but he left us.
Yeah, Clyde was... he did. He
For
did
the
leave
Cardinals.
He left us.
us. Yeah, and he played with Jacksonville. He was part of the expansion draft. He played in the Jacksonville Jaguars in the mid-90s. I mean, he was everywhere.
I love Clyde though. Clyde could play.
He
Clyde
could definitely play.
Little,
Yeah.
little too young for me to have an analytic perspective that I get. Jason Peters is the left tackle. Like,
There you go. Okay, makes sense. So continuing with you, John, you've got the 4-13 matchups here. So the 13 seed is Malcolm Jenkins.
The 13 seed is Malcolm Jenkins.
The 13 seed is Malcolm Jenkins. The 4 seed is Brian Westbrook. So you have the great kick returner, running back extraordinaire.
It's a no-brainer. I mean, Malcolm Jenkins is phenomenal, but we're talking Brian Westbrook. Like, we're talking Brian Westbrook. Like,
Wow.
Brian fucking Westbrook.
Okay.
The dude, he taught us things that little guys could do that I still don't think other guys his size can do. I think it was just him.
The punt return.
Just smart play, like running all the way down, it's sliding at the 1 yard line, so you don't have to run another play.
Yeah.
Infuriating fantasy owners everywhere.
Everywhere.
But genius football play. Like
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
He was Donovan's safety.
Oh,
Like-
yes. Yeah.
Donovan didn't have to think because Westbrook would always find an opening, and he could run the ball.
I think about
All day long.
specifically the play that he had up in the old Meadowlands against the Giants, the punt return. 10-7, you know, they're really sliding. It's like they can't move the ball against the Giants. They, you know, that kind of stuff. And then all of a sudden they try and kick to him, and on one hop catches the ball, runs to the outside, and runs to the end zone, scores a touchdown, turns the entire division. Because the Eagles were kind of like middling at like 2-2. Yeah, exactly. Catapulted them right into the NFC Championship game that year.
The funny part about that is we've had a lot of good punt and kick returners
Yeah.
in the Eagles.
We really
And
have.
Ryan Mitchell.
For him to stand out,
Sean?
as I remember when he got hurt that year,
Yeah.
our punt return game sucked.
Yeah.
I remember the radio was killing Andy. Like, why didn't you get a backup for him? And Andy's exact concept was, how do you do that? Like, you can't get a backup for Brian Westbrook.
You're not a Reno Mahe guy, John.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? You can't- How are you going to replace that? We're lucky to have it.
Exactly. How about some quick love though to Malcolm Jenkins, right? I mean, free safety extraordinaire. I mean, you got coming in, leads that secondary. I mean, he was cleaning up all kinds of crap that was left over, right, in that Super Bowl. I mean, if we didn't have him in the lineup, right, got to give him some love.
To start the tempo in the first quarter.
Yeah.
That hit where he decapitated that dude.
Yeah, or
Cooks.
Brandon Cooks. Yeah, when he laid him out, yeah, it was pretty much over at that point for the Patriots. They had no offense at that point. Well, they
And he
didn't have
he
any
played
offense.
something insane, like 99.999% of the snaps, like while he was here, wasn't it?
Could always
Yeah.
count on him. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
The only thing you don't like about him is he went vegan during that time. That's the only thing you like about him, Steve. We talked about that before.
There you go.
No, but
That's why he got bumped to 13.
That's right.
What a great career he had here. I mean, he had a great career with Saints. He had a great career at Ohio State.
He
I mean, there's
recently retired.
like,
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
there's no shine like that
We
we
love
can
him.
put on. Like the dude is a hell of a man and a hell of a player.
No doubt. Amen to that.
Absolutely.
All right, Steve. So here we go. This is the final pick of the Eagles of all the 16 players. So this is it. You got the 16 seed is Troy Vincent, and of course the number 1 seed is the Minister of Defense Reggie White. Reggie or Troy Vincent? So I will leave it up to you, my good man. What do you think?
I love Troy Vincent.
Yeah.
I mean, him and Bobby Taylor were my cornerbacks,
Oh,
man, back in the
yeah.
day. Those guys had some length and they could slap some balls, and it was good
It
times.
was a great free agent signing.
He was.
It really
he was. He
was,
was probably the first.
Major one.
Well, no, not. I thought Ricky Waters might have been the first, like,
Yeah.
one of the.
But the first
Virgins,
probably the first defensive move
Yeah,
during
Yeah.
Glory's era.
Yeah.
That really put a stamp on it.
And really, Brian Dawkins credits Troy Vincent for bringing him along in his career. If it wasn't for Troy, I mean, that kind of deal.
Well,
So
isn't Troy head of the Players Association?
he is,
still
yeah.
is.
Yeah, he's the man. Like
Yeah.
Troy is the man.
Yeah.
Troy Vincent was a heck of a player and a heck of an individual off the field. But it's silly. It's
Reggie.
Reggie White. Come on.
Yeah. I remember meeting him in a book signing. This was a while back.
Who,
when I was
Troy
like-
or Reggie?
Reggie.
Okay.
And I was probably, maybe you're talking 12, 13. So this is right when he's like 1990, 91 type of thing. And I remember I had back then I did have kind of a replica Reggie White jersey at the time. And of course we go to the book signing and it's packed with people, packed with them. And we go up and I shake his hands and his hand practically enveloped mine. I mean, it was literally like he just ate it. That kind of deal. And I'm like,
He's a
oh
big
my
man.
God, you got a good
Hi, Mr.
shirt,
White.
kid.
I'm currently absorbing you via osmosis. Just wait.
He's like, you got a good shirt, kid. I was like, okay, thank you. Wow, you're great. You're awesome. It was great. It was just amazing. You're 10, 11 years old. You're looking up at this guy. And he's like this monster among men. It's tremendous. So yeah,
Reggie was
Reggie.
definitely
No doubt.
He
So here we go. Second round, guys. And Steve, we're going to go for you. This is going to be an interesting matchup here. You've got the 5 seed is Jason Peters, the 4 seed Brian Westbrook in the second round. So the 5-4. Left tackle extraordinaire, running back punt returner extraordinaire. It's gonna
I might anger John with this one,
No, I don't think so. I think you're right on it.
but
I'm feeling it.
we'll see. Jason Peters held on too long.
long.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he did.
It was like a Bill Guerin situation.
A little bit too long. Yeah.
A little bit too long. Brian
Yeah.
Westbrook, I think, got out when the getting out was good. I don't
Mm-hmm.
remember him having like a terrible season and then I'm retiring. It was like it was time for him to go, and he went. And so I look at Westbrook's career kind of better because it wasn't tainted by a sad ending. Like
Yeah.
so I'm gonna advance
You're gonna go
Westbrook.
move Westbrook.
I completely agree. I completely agree.
That's awesome. Yeah, I love that. John, for you to close out the second round here, another difficult matchup. 1 seed Reggie White, 8 seed Jason Kelce.
Damn it, Reggie, why didn't you bring me a chip?
That's the one
Does
thing
the
Kelsey's
8
got on him.
upset the 1, or do we have the? No, Reggie.
Minister of Defense. Like,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah. I mean, just one of the all-time greats and sack leader for a number of years until, Bruce Smith took him over. But yeah.
These four guys really talk about how much we love that game more than like they were all great, like actually almost that entire list, great humans.
Yep.
Great players.
Yep.
But everybody on that list would say that Reggie should come out of that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's a good point. Good point. All right.
Kelce himself would probably agree.
I think he probably would. He probably would. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, most likely.
Gents, it now comes down to this. Who will face Brian Dawkins in the Elite Eight of our Two Noobs tournament of the best Philadelphia athlete? Is it going to be Brian Westbrook or the Minister of Defense, Reggie White? So I will make my choice here, and I'll wait your selections. So this is going to be interesting. This is going to be very, very interesting. As everyone's making...
Is John's in yet?
No.
He is not, no. Waiting on him.
There we go.
Okay, got John's in. Yeah. I don't know if that is necessarily correct, Mr. Murray. I think you'll have to do it again. But we do have I guess you could say a unanimous selection. I don't want to speak for Mr. Murray. But Reggie White will join Brian Dawkins in the Elite Eight. I don't think you could have asked for a better representative coming out of this Linc region, right? I mean, he's the greatest defensive end, one of the greats of all time, certainly in the Eagles, the best when we think defensive end. He's the template, right, John? You like to say that?
Absolutely.
He's clearly, and just one of the only thing he did leave us, but I think it was legit because of Norman Brayman. Really?
I don't think we blame Reggie for leaving.
No. And I mean, it broke my heart when he left, but obviously he was doing the right thing. He was like, I can't win here. I have to win. And he ended up winning with the Packers.
It was the same thing like the Scott Rowland thing. Like, yeah. I don't blame Scott for leaving. Philly's management at that time was terrible and didn't show, the desire to do what it was necessary to win.
Yeah.
So that same thing with Reggie. I don't think Raymond was doing enough to put the team over the top and pay Reggie what he was worth.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Which should have been the moon and back.
I can't blame him.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so we're going to flash up the bracket, the updated one. And, of course, we got Reggie White and Brian Dawkins. 1-2 matchup there. Wow.
That's going to be fun.
That's going to be fun to talk about. And then you've got Mike Schmidt coming out of the Phillies, Lindros, and Dr. J to round out the five. So we've got, next up on the list, we've got the Phillies, second part of the Phillies bracket in a couple weeks. And then a couple weeks after that, we'll finish out the Flyers and the Sixers. We'll figure out that with scheduling down the road. But, guys, what a great tournament, right, so far.